following every Patriots game.
And the Patriots have won their 6th Super Bowl title. In the early 2000s, they won 3 of 4. Now they have won 3 of the last 5. Yes, it's still a dynasty.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
I hope y'all keep that same energy for tonight, baby. Can't wait.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Slipping and sliding, he was like a cat. Pop, pop, bang. Still a dynasty. How about that?
Wow.
Appropriate as the Patriots get.
What? Yes, Paul?
Yes.
Question?
Permission to speak?
Yes, go ahead.
I did not see that coming.
I
did not see as thoroughly dominant a Patriots win over a good team like that coming. I did not see that coming.
Just an absolute beatdown in every single aspect of the game. I mean, when we get to our good, bad, and the training room list, it's going to be tough coming up with bads in a game like today because they were dominant.
Oh, my gosh.
They just dominated.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, that first drive, it was kind of like, oh, boy, this might be a back and forth long one. Excuse me, but offense, they answered. Interception by Kyle Duggar. They scored 14-7, and it just seemed like from there there was no looking back. Defense getting off the field on third downs. It was as impressive a win as I've seen since I've been here.
So not to bury the lead, 45-7, the final here from Gillette Stadium this afternoon as the Patriots dispose of the what were 5-4 Cleveland Browns. Instead, they moved to 500 on the season, 5-5. The Patriots now at 6-4 through 10 games, setting themselves up with a win on the short week. And we were talking about how we'd be happy if they got a split out of these two games just because of the opponents and the short week. And now it's looking like a team that, of course, they could still lose Thursday night in the short week to the Falcons in Atlanta. But they kind of look like a team that isn't going to lose Thursday night on a short week to the Falcons in Atlanta after a game like that.
Especially looking at what Atlanta did against Dallas, but we'll get to all that soon enough. But
what a performance
today. And a great win for the team.
Just like I said, thoroughly dominant in all areas. After that first drive defensively, they were dominant, and the Patriots offense was dominant from start to finish.
Let's get to our list here. We're going to be doing all of our the fun things throughout the post game, and we invite you to join us. 855-PATS-500. Emails webradio@patriots.com. But first, we must get to on this Patriots post game show presented by Cyber Reason, the good, the bad, and the training room, which is presented by Theragun.
Now it's time for the good.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
The bad.
If you were in my toilet bowl, I wouldn't bother flushing it.
And the training room.
You want a back rub?
Presented by Theragun.
Good, the bad, and the training room. So many goods to get to today, so we're going to have to I don't know. After a 45-7 win, I don't feel like we should
get too crazy.
Pare it down. No, no. It's like,
yeah.
You could leave some guys out. No, anybody who had a good game, let's call them out. Deuce, you can go first.
All right, I'm going to start with Mr. Mac Jones. We've been talking about a couple weeks. Has he stagnated? Has he, hitting a wall? All that kind of stuff. I thought today he was outstanding, in control of the offense, throwing it short, throwing it deep, calm in the pocket and on third down. I mean, they were, nearly perfect on third down over the course of the game with Mac in the game. So. Just really impressed with him. Some of his throws, I thought one of his best throws was called back due to penalty to the one along the sidelines to Hunter Henry, with just a dime.
It was unbelievable.
Dropped it into him. He had a couple dimes to Hunter Henry, which is that chemistry continues to show. I've been impressed with Mac Jones this year, but I think today I was just a little bit more impressed with how in control he did, and it was really good. It was really good. He did. I don't know how you can really ask for more than what he did today.
19 for 23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. As you said, Deuce, some of those throws he made today, there was some arguing with himself during the game. Which was the best throw of the day? Was it the one to Meyers? No, it was actually the one to Henry, and it was talking about his best throws that he's seen him make in weeks and weeks, and that's the type of game he had today.
Yeah, and I had mentioned that in passing. The comparison back to that Brady game, and I thought that Mac Jones had that kind of a game where all right, calm down, everyone. He's still making progress.
How's your plateau?
Like, yeah, and I'm not into that crap.
But it's true. I mean,
I don't watch the games despite hate everybody else who watches them. I try to evaluate what I saw, and I would co-sign with everything Mike said. I mean, that was really just a rock solid all around performance. The one sort of the flag route toward the Patriots bench, the sideline that he dropped into Henry.
Yeah.
Was a great catch, too, but, I mean, just an absolutely perfect throw.
The one in the third quarter?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. They're headed to the close down.
Fade corner?
Yeah, so I would absolutely have Mac Jones on my good list. I would also, can I do my first one,
Yeah.
Hardy? Can we move on? Or do you
Yeah,
have more to add
move
on
it,
Mac?
move it.
I would go Rhamondre Stevenson. I thought that he was excellent in the pinch hitting role here today with really the only healthy back that they had. I thought the first couple of plays, I was like, oh, that Cleveland run defense is as advertised. They're really tough, physical, not a lot of running lanes. And then all of a sudden he started breaking through a little bit, finding some creases, breaking tackles, moving the pile, 20 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also was effective as a receiver with 4 catches. Not, huge yards, only 14 yards, dropped a potential touchdown pass. But I thought his overall game was really solid today. Maybe his biggest play, that 3rd and 1 from around the 9-yard line, 10-yard line, little quick toss pitch from Mac, takes it around the edge for 18 yards, gets that drive started, and 99 yards later, the Patriots really were in total control of the game. The game was over.
Yeah, I love the game from Stevenson. As I mentioned before the game, I had some questions. Just he hadn't practiced all week, and the talk of preparation, and for a rookie to come in without that week of preparation, to do what he did, you saw how much those guys were trying to rip the ball out of his arms. He had good ball security, good, yards after contact. Guys were hitting him. He was, squirting through, kind of falling backwards and, just managing to keep his balance. And it's exciting to think that, he can potentially really, not just be kind of a compliment to Damian Harris, but be his own kind of weapon in his own regard. So really great game for him. 2 touchdowns, the first 100 yards of his career. So congratulations. It was
and as you pointed out, Paul, the 20 carries on the day, but the 4 catches to go along with it. Just a really solid performance. I'm going to go with Kendrick Bourne, who had a good day as well. I thought he made some really nice plays in the running game. In addition to go with the 4 catches that he had for the long one of 48 yards, but I thought he was effective in both the passing game and the running game.
Yeah,
today.
some tough catches, couple catches on 3rd down early to get things rolling. Paul kind of mentioned him as the, I don't know how you would put it, but the talent. We're questioning who the most talented or productive receiver has been, and I thought it was a great effort from Bourne. I mean, he continues to look like he's more and more comfortable with where to be. Even saw Hoyer find him on that dig route late in the game, but he's good with the ball in his hands. He's quick, and he's making tough catches right now, which I think really just adds a whole nother kind of dimension to him.
Mine are in no particular order, by the way. I didn't even have Bourne written down. The game was like so crazy. I had many goods early, but I'm just thinking back, I'm like, oh, Bourne had a really good day.
Oh, yeah.
Both in running and
3 carries, 43 yards, and 4 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
And the touchdown catch was not easy. That was another great throw by Mac earlier in the game. I think it was the 2nd touchdown to put him up 14. No, might have been the 3rd. I forget. There were so many touchdowns. I forget when they all happened.
All right.
But, yeah, terrific catch in between 2 defenders. I thought Bourne was excellent today. He was on my list, too.
All right. Who's up next, Deuce?
I got 3rd down defense, and, without getting too specific, I mean, they didn't allow a 3rd down conversion until garbage time on that last drive. I think it was maybe 1 for 11 was I believe, the final.
Yeah, sometimes you can watch these games and you can come up with a whole bunch of different things, but sometimes it's very simple. Patriots were 7 for 9 on 3rd down. Cleveland was 1 for 11.
That's just what I wrote about in my thing. That was one of my key takeaways, and that just as Paul said, that was the takeaway. Even on that first drive, they only had 1 3rd down. It was on the goal line. They did get a stop, forced them, and they got it on 4th down. But just overall, I thought that defense was excellent. I thought that they had some struggle initially against the run, and they found their stride and were just really, again, another great game with Duggar's interception, giving them a little bit of that boost on that 2nd drive.
All right, Paul, who do you have next?
I have Hunter Henry next. I think today was his best game.
Yeah.
He had modest stats again. 4 catches, 37 yards, 2 more touchdowns, but I just felt like there was a handful of plays today that they needed they needed someone to make a play, and none more so. Sometimes we overstep things. This is going to be one of them. Cleveland goes right down the field, 7-0. Patriots have the ball, run for nothing. It's 3rd and long. 12-yard completion to Hunter Henry, first down. Patriots end up catching a touchdown on that drive. If they go 3 and out, that game might unfold differently. Yeah. I'm not telling you it would have, but it might. I do believe in that sort of butterfly effect, that sometimes things change based on the way they unfold. Huge play by Henry. Got open in the seam in the zone. Nice, easy pitch and catch from Mack. I thought this was his best game today.
Yep.
Hunter Henry.
Fantastic. Very good. All right. So you already brought up the 3rd down defense. I had, a couple of players I thought played, exceptionally well defensively, starting with Duggar and the interception that kind of, started to set the real tone for the game early, but he had a good game beyond that too.
Yeah, he did. He was active. The big hit too, which I think I missed. I ran, but Paul was relaying to me at a big hit
kick.
On the
he
kickoff.
He concussed a guy on a kick.
Oh my God, it was one of those scary hard hits.
Yeah, I think he's showing up more and more, and I think we had someone either on this show or on PU call in and kind of ask for just an evaluation on him, and he's really starting to show something a little bit now in the last few weeks with the interceptions, getting his hands on the ball, knowing where to be. Good game from Duggar.
All right, Paul.
Wait
a second,
I got
Deuce.
One. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
I'll do one. I got to throw Jacoby on there, and not just because he finally got his touchdown, but I thought he early on, similar to Hunter, had a couple tough downfield catches that extended the drive, and same kind of thing. I think we talked about coming in, needed a little more out of him, and I thought he delivered early with some tough contested catches in some key spots. I forget exactly if they were on 3rd down, but he was an important part early on in keeping those drives moving, and I think that just kind of helped set the tone. I mean, it's a team offense right now. Everybody's kind of chipping in. You got 4 guys with 4 catches. But I thought Jacoby was back on track in this game, and was great to see him get that touchdown, a nice little cherry on top, if you will, of an impressive victory.
All right, now we can go to Paul.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Because I thought today was an example of one of those days where you watched and you said, wow, are they doing a great job? And I know when you play great and win 45-7, everything looks great, but wasn't a whole lot that looked all that difficult today. And I felt like they did a great job of scheming up some plays. The jet sweep kind of action to Kendrick Bourne was big. They loosened up, I think, the run defense with some of those, getting to the perimeter, because the run defense was really good early. So just Josh McDaniels, I thought, put on a clinic today. I thought everything that they did offensively. Wow, Cam Newton in the game here on the goal line for Carolina. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry for that red zone interruption. Thought it was worthy.
That is worthy.
Between Cam Newton and
it's so weird seeing him in a Panthers uniform again. Oh,
and
get
he's
in
gonna
there.
Get in.
He gets in.
He gets in.
I'm happy for him. That's cool. I wish it was in Carolina.
Oh, is that a penalty?
It might be now.
Hey, you're getting a dog.
I'm back. He's
going
yelling,
on.
I'm back.
I think it was I'm vaxxed.
Deuce is so clever. Clever and witty. So touchdown for Carolina.
I love what Paul said about Josh. We were talking about it during the game, though. I couldn't believe how he was spinning the dial with multiple offensive linemen or multiple tight. Like all of a sudden, Lacoste is out there. Asiasi's out there. Trent Brown and Onwenu are both out there. It's wide receiver screens. It's Jakob Johnson. I don't know how he kept track of everything, but they did an outstanding job where it was just everything was kind of working, pushing the right buttons. We talk about the 3rd downs. I mean, there were some on that first drive, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 13. I mean, big 3rd and longs that they had to get.
And in addition to all of those that Mike just talked about, there was a holding penalty that set up 1st and 20. They run for 15 on 1st down. So it didn't end up being a long yardage situation, but they ended up overcoming the holding penalty, something that they hadn't been doing an awful lot of.
They did, and no turnovers too. I mean, not to put that under the Josh umbrella,
nothing
but I
even
just
close to a turnover today.
No dangerous balls. I mean, a couple penalties, but nothing too egregious.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
By the way, the Cam did get called for the unsportsmanlike immediately after.
Yeah, I think that's an automatic penalty, taking your helmet off like that.
All right, so let's see. I'm trying to figure out who's.
I think it's you now.
I just went, so it's your turn.
Yeah, it's you.
let's get him out of the way right now. Nick Folk only had 1 field goal today, but 6
They
for
needed
6
it.
on the extra points. 6 for 6 on the extra points, baby. Lions have managed to peel.
Fumble.
Oh,
my God.
I may have spoken too
Oh, my
soon.
You did. I think they're calling this a fumble, and I think the Lions have it.
The Lions
yes, they do.
got the ball
Wow.
to start overtime, and after
That guy ain't
They petered
happy.
out, punted, and in the first play, the Steelers had a bomb.
after Goff took a sack on what ended up being a holding penalty anyway.
You know who recovered the fumble?
Say it.
Aruarie.
I didn't even know he was still in the league. Oh, that's so great.
Aruarie.
Fantastic. Nick Folk, yes, kind of, but just defensively, I have so many guys written down today. Jawan Bentley had a really good game, I thought.
He had some big plays in the back.
And I don't know if you want to group some of these together, because I don't know if they're all worthy of individual mentions. But I thought Kyle Van Noy had a good game today, and we point out certain games when he seems just largely absent.
I noticed him today.
I noticed him today.
He had a sack.
Yeah.
And these are the things that, all right, if we're going to be fair, if we're going to mention guys that we don't notice during the week, we already pointed out Duggar, but I think Bentley and Kyle Van Noy are 2 guys worthy of individual mentions for the games that they had today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. I feel like it's a good thing to have trouble picking defensive guys out, because they were all active and working together, and some guys would get the play and other guys would take the hit for it, and it was just great team defense today.
Van Noy also forced that fumble, really heads-up play, one of those where
I know the play.
Yeah, just the hand comes out at the end. He was kind of in on the tackle, but not really. But, one of these heads-up plays from a veteran, it's like, you know what? I can still impact this. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can just get my hand on the ball, and he did. What's wrong, Paul?
Never mind. The Lions threw a pick on the first play after that fumble, but there was a penalty on Pittsburgh.
Good thing you didn't see that, Hardy.
So they still have the ball.
Oh, good grief.
You would have been very mad about that.
I don't. It's tough to care.
Yeah.
It's tough to care.
It's a little bit.
All right, back to you, Deuce.
I feel good. I mean,
you got 'em?
Look, everybody played great. You could put most of the team on the ups tonight. The coaching, the way they played, the lack of mistakes, the offensive game plan, the defense, the way they hunkered down, it was excellent. Put the whole team on.
Yeah, I agree with Mike and about the way the whole thing unfolded on defense. I didn't have a lot of individuals. I did have Duggar that Hardy had already mentioned, but I just put defensive adjustments, because all of a sudden things changed and it looked all different. So I give the coaches a lot of credit for that. That was a ticky-tack holding call too, Hardy, that you retained possession.
Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. No,
But yeah,
I know you mentioned Josh McDaniels, but coaching overall, for a team that was without Harris today, without Gunner, and they had to make some adjustments and do some things personnel-wise.
Right.
And everybody rose to the occasion. You got to include the coaching staff in that.
Yep.
All right. On to the bad list. As boss man Fred Kirsch joins us now, too, here on the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by Cyber Reason. Man, it's going to be a very thin bad list today.
Yes.
After a performance 45-7, the win over the Browns today at Gillette Stadium, is there anyone you really want to single out for having a bad game?
I mean, I got nothing. I'm sure Paul will have something, because he's smart like that and can get down to the nitty gritty.
Is that what
Negative like that.
Is that what you think?
I think you spot details and you'll be correct in whatever you say.
We are going to have to try to watch the whole game.
Yeah.
And the first drive was not pretty.
Yeah.
They came in. You knew they wanted to run the ball, and they ran it right down your throat for 58 yards, the most ever on a drive against the Bill Belichick defense, according to Mike Reese. So I would say that first drive, the Patriots defense wasn't ready. Everything after that, however, we've already discussed on the good list.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not going to belabor the point, but
Yeah. No, you're right.
You'd like to come out of the locker room a little bit more prepared than that.
Yep.
I would say bad job by a certain segment of the fan base. I believe there was a sarcastic cheer for the Brian Hoyer to N'Keal Harry pass there in garbage time. We don't need that here. There was a very loud cheer.
It's funny. We took that as this Harry. Here comes Harry now.
I could barely hear it.
I don't appreciate the sarcasm in a win. In a loss, I appreciate it more.
But you know what? I was thinking, if we forgot that Harry was a first-round draft pick, everybody would be saying, he's the perfect Patriot. He blocks downfield. He plays 60 minutes, right?
He does block.
I don't know how anyone could say that, but yeah, I guess you're right.
What, you don't think he's a good blocker?
I think he's just out there.
He's a big
I don't
guy.
know.
Oh, my
I don't know
God.
exactly what he does.
I knew he could get it.
No,
I knew I could get it out of him. I knew it.
I'm not like if he's a 7th-round pick or a 1st-round pick, he doesn't really bring anything to the table.
I'm kind of with
Wide
Paul.
receivers aren't known for blocking.
But on the
now.
Patriots,
I find him to be largely unimpactful, even as a first-round pick
Right.
or a 6th-rounder.
he blocks well.
Okay.
Good for him.
He had
I'll
a
take your word
couple-
for it.
He had a couple on Myles Garrett on the edge where it
I'll
was
take
like,
your word for it.
I mean, now that you saw one, Paul, you thought that should have been a penalty where he
Oh, yeah, he
came in
blindsided
and
him.
blindsided Myles Garrett, but every time he was in, they seemed like they were running like in his general direction. So
There were a couple of weird moments. There was the just offensive line tried a couple of things out on the edge against Garrett. Like there was one that
trying to cut him and he just gets
like,
up quick.
on the
and-
cut block and
So is this
was
one of your downs?
Yeah.
I would totally agree. Like twice, Isaiah Wynn tried to cut Myles Garrett, and you can't do that. First of all, if you're going to do it, you can't miss.
You can't miss because not only do you not block him, but you look foolish.
Right.
And I mean, I watched that play a couple of times. I saw it live and sitting next to Jim Louth, who doesn't laugh at Patriots' misfortunes ever. He laughed at that on the replay. He's like, what was that? Yeah. Like that was a poorly executed block. That was not a block. So,
yeah.
But very, very nitpicky. I mean, the offensive line got it together on the very next drive, and they look good.
Oh, I mean, aside from that play, I believe that's the only play that Mac Jones was pressured on in the whole game. And I'm not exaggerating. I saw that on Twitter. That was the only play that he had any pressure on him at all. So the offensive line was outstanding today.
Yeah, I mean,
using, as Deuce said, using a variety of personnel.
Just kept spinning the dial, mixing it up, and it felt like they kept the Browns just on their heels. They didn't know what was coming, and sometimes it just seems like with Josh and I mean offensive coordinators in general, you just keep hitting the right button sometimes, and that was that kind of day.
Anything stand
Do you
out
have
to
any
you today,
bads,
Fred?
And the bad, punt returning, I guess, not fielding the ball, being and I guess that's the way
fair.
that's the way he was coached, Myers.
Probably.
Like don't take any chances, but I don't know.
I thought he had a chance.
You're
to
allowed
field,
to run underneath it.
I thought he had a chance to field the last one, especially Fred. I think that's. I mean, again,
But again, nitpicking.
You're trying to find.
Yeah.
I would just say penalties in general. There was too many penalties today.
Yeah.
Uche had a bad one on a 3rd down early in the game, and Bill absolutely eviscerated him. And that's one in that category. Shut up, Paul. The young guys aren't playing for a reason, and maybe that's why. Maybe he's making a lot of
it's
mental.
disappointing. It's
lot
the
of
same
mental
thing
errors.
for when Gunner gets out there as a wide receiver. You get out there, here's your chance, you blew it.
Yeah.
Lions are about to
have a chance to win
miss
on
a
a
field goal.
48-yard field goal.
That would be awesome.
Stop the
No, it'd be good for the Patriots.
stop the losing streak or do the most Lions thing ever.
Kick is up,
And
and it is no
it's
good.
the most
Not even close.
Lions
I think
thing
he was
ever.
short.
Oh my
Oh, yeah,
God.
it was it was like one of my drives.
Oh,
That was good from 26,
Oh, it
not
is-
from 46.
It is pretty crappy weather, but still. It's one of those, like, by the way, can I give you a brief aside on this game?
Please.
So everybody remembers the Monday night game in Pittsburgh with Chicago that the referees in the NFL clearly just the game was on it was fixed. Okay, we'll say can we be big kids and just say the game was fixed?
Well, no.
Okay, so Pittsburgh got every call in the game. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. But I'm not really saying it was fixed.
Thank you.
But Pittsburgh got every call in that game, from start to finish. It was an absolute travesty, right? So in this overtime, I haven't watched the whole game, so I don't know how the whole game's been officiated. But in this overtime alone, Pittsburgh got called for a ticky-tack holding call that took away an interception. And then 2 plays later, they were going to face a 4th down and got a roughing the passer, which set up that field goal attempt by the Lions.
Well, how
so
about
it's almost
this?
like they said, we know, our bad last week. We'll see if we can get you back.
If the Lions get 9 more calls that go their way that are absolutely egregiously wrong, they'll almost.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what the whole day was. It could.
No, I'm saying for a career for the Lions.
Oh.
They've been jobbed.
Yeah, the Steelers
more
only had
than any
6
other
penalties in the game, so it's not like they got screwed from start to finish.
team. Any other bads to get to? I'm sure we mentioned all the goods before you got here, Fred. It's tough to imagine we left anybody off the list, so everything was good. How about injuries?
I think just Mills was like a shoulder or an arm. Looked like he went out for a little bit. He came back and played most of the game.
Seemed like did Bolden go out for a series?
Can I have another red zone interruption?
I didn't see.
Yeah.
So now we are less than a half of quarter into the Cam Newton re-entry into Carolina. He now has a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown.
I know.
He's already exceeded his 2020 production with the Patriots.
I'm happy for him.
I don't really care.
You're not allowed to be happy for him. We've been told that before.
Well, who was the guy that yelled at you for that?
Oh, I don't know. I forget.
But even he does occupy space in some people's brains. Like on the blog, people are like, anyone missing Cam Newton today?
No.
It's like, I wasn't missing him yesterday
I was
either.
going to say, who missed him yesterday? Coming off of Mac's probably shakiest game.
I didn't miss him at 2 and 4.
Let's move on.
No, he dropped it. He dropped it on 3rd and 26.
Oh, my God.
You know what this is? 16-1, Hardy.
Oh.
16-1.
I'd be okay
It's
with
almost
that.
worse. It's funny because it's 0-6. It's not 0-15-1. It has because it's 16. Like still 0-16, but you get the tie.
That's right. That's fine. We'll
Silly.
take it.
Silly.
So just that. By the way, what'd you think of Bolden's day? We didn't mention him in the goal on the
Yeah, he had a
list.
few runs. He had
I
a few draws.
I thought he had a
and
pretty
couple,
good day.
I mean, everybody had a couple plays.
did.
You know, every catch, receiver,
I mean,
and they all did something.
I mean, I guess if you're going to be really nitpicky, you thought, oh, J.J. Taylor, good day for him to show something, and he really didn't do much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he didn't fumble.
No,
I mean, not many opportunities to really play.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you can't fault a guy or put him on the bad list anyway when he didn't get a whole lot of opportunities.
Right.
So,
Yep.
all right.
he was neither good nor bad.
All right, there we go. So that would be the the training room list, which of course is brought to you by Theragun. That Theragun Mini, Zoe has been peppering Fred for his own Theragun Mini.
Yeah, I told him I'd get him one. and
Okay, you don't
somebody
have to.
told me that I'd get him one.
You don't have to.
I know I don't have to.
All right, good.
But I
Did
figure
you
if
get
he
one
does,
from Morel?
if he gets on the internet and starts,
Morel really
doing
wants
it,
one.
then
You should get one for him.
it'll be good for Theragun.
Let me tell you, it's good. They're good for everybody. This Theragun Mini, have you been using yours?
I know. I love it. I was using it yesterday. Usually you're used to the gun, which you have a place for the gun, but the little hand grip on the Mini, you can just sit there on the couch. It's not a burden to hold. You can put it anywhere. I think it's outstanding, and I'm 100% using it last night on the couch. So A+. I love
As
it.
well you should. It's the only physician-created percussive therapy device that gets those deep muscle tensions and releases them, and all the aches. They're gone. Scientifically calibrated combination of depth, speed, and power. 250 teams are using Theragun. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to therabody.com. Get your Theragun today. They start at just $199. So thank you to Theragun, presenting the good, the bad, and the training room. Want to get to the calls?
Yeah.
855-PATS-500. Start with Johnny in Wisconsin. Hopefully it'll be that busy sound for Fred. No luck. Sorry, Johnny, thanks for joining us. What do you got?
Oh, hey everyone. Good to say hi to Fred. That's the first time I've said hi to him. So it's good to get the man who has a feel for the league.
That's
right.
Now we can get some insight on everything else.
It's a great feel for the league.
Yep.
But anyway, I just had to say that Mac Jones, very impressed today. I think it wasn't, he didn't win the game single-handedly, but he had some nice throws. That dart to Kendrick Bourne right down the middle there. I was more impressed with Kendrick Bourne on the catch, but that was, talked about his arm strength before during the podcast, and I was just kind of impressed with that dart right there. So, it's Mac Jones once again impressed.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm impressed really more with it's not the arm strength shows, Johnny, or the arm strength throws. It's those dimes that he was dropping in to both Meyers and to Henry. To me, those were the impressive throws.
And I think that's why Mike really liked the one that got called back to Henry, because that was one of the few times you saw him back foot, bang, he's putting something into it, and he had
Right
something
on
on
the
that one on
sideline.
the sideline. That was one of the throws he doesn't make very often. Yeah, because most of the other throws are anticipation throws, but his accuracy today was different level. It was on point. That throw to Henry in front of the Patriots bench, the throw that the caller just mentioned to Bourne for the touchdown, yes, it was a better catch, but that's the only place it could be a touchdown is where he put it.
And
Perfect.
I'll say something. Over the last couple games, I think he's been sensing pressure. Sometimes it's not there, sometimes it is. But I don't know what they did over this week, but he looked a lot calmer in the pocket.
The number one thing they did was they
back Trent Brown.
They blocked.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put it all on him because he was in and
Right,
out.
right.
They were great today.
Yeah.
The protection was really, really good. The only guy who had any sniff was Garrett once in a while, and he's a great player. You're not going to just completely shut him down.
You're probably going to hold him and give up a sack to him every game at least once.
And there was a couple of times that, like Hardy mentioned, that Wynn was trying to cut him and it didn't work. But for the most part, he had
He's
an
quiet.
incredibly
He didn't destroy your game.
An incredibly clean pocket to work out of. And like I said, Josh McDaniels was great in dialing up stuff that was there.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Kevin in Maryland. Kevin, you're up.
So that noise you just heard was a third down incomplete pass that was very close to getting picked off by Pittsburgh. So it looks like the Steelers will have one last shot. It was a holding call on Detroit anyway, which was declined.
All right. We won't worry about that. We're going to worry about Kevin in Maryland. Kevin, what do you got for us? Kevin?
Turn down the internet, Kevin.
Yep. Hey, fellas.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
Wicked awesome.
All right, first-time caller. So I've probably got like 30,000 things I could say about this game, but I'll give you guys three real quick. First of all, Mac freaking Jones.
Okay.
Everyone's down him over Baker. I'd take him in a heartbeat over Baker.
Okay. Number two,
offensive line. I love the double in Myles Garrett. They shut him down minus the one sack, but I'll take that any day against him.
Yep.
Okay.
And then number three, my boss, big Browns fan, been talking trash all week. I'm going to print out some Mac Jones pictures and then put them all over the office, and, it's going to be a great Monday.
Don't get too crazy. You want to keep that job.
Kevin, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Did you say you're live on the internet? Did you say
I said
that?
turn down
your internet.
Oh, okay.
You always tell people to turn on the radio. Fred says turn down your internet.
I've never heard that before. That's good.
Fred's very clever. Just ask him.
What do we know about Baker Mayfield and his injury?
Oof.
I don't even know what it was.
I don't either. That's why I'm asking. What do we know? Was it a wonky knee type of thing? I think LePan said it looked like his knee kind of.
They've sending his ego in for evaluation.
Oh, Fred.
What happened to the guy at the end? Did you ever get an actual?
Broadcast said that he's going to be okay, but they're sending him to the hospital for evaluation.
They're worried about like his neck.
He's looking. He's looking okay though.
Such a strange play. You don't really see a guy get hurt on kind of getting shook.
Troy Hill.
Thank you, Hardy.
For Mayfield.
Knee injury for Baker Mayfield. Okay. All right, let's continue with your calls here. Tony in Canada joining us here on the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by Cyber Reason. Hello, Tony.
Hi, guys. Great game today.
Yeah.
I've got sort of a funny question.
Are you the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Rhetorical.
Oh, you have a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I guess. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think it was the game against the Cowboys. Or against Tampa, I'm not sure, but I was saying, I think Mac is going to be the next franchise quarterback, and the question is, have we got our guy? Would you guys be willing to anoint him now? Would you say?
Well, it's
what are you anointing him as?
It's rhetorical. We don't have to answer.
Well, is he going to be the quarterback for the next 10 years?
No, but he'll be the quarterback for the next few.
Yeah.
Why not 10?
Because I don't think he'll be around that long.
I think somebody is going to present themselves, and Tony, he looks really, really good.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever had a question of whether or not he's the franchise quarterback. They drafted him in the first round.
Yeah, he's the guy, but you see such outrageous talent in the quarterback position now every couple of years. It's difficult for me to say that 7 years from now there won't be somebody who comes along that the Patriots have access to, and they say like, oh, my God, could you imagine if we had him?
Yeah.
And someone like that will come along.
There's no doubt about that. And he's not going anywhere.
Well,
yeah, that's reasonable, but I think
my prediction is that we're going to assign him we're going to extend him in his fourth or fifth year, and he's going to be around. As long as there's no injuries or anything, I see that he's going to be the next guy. But that's all, guys. I just want to say great game and go Pats.
Okay.
Thanks, Tony.
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 I mean, that's a reasonable to say, and it's a lot to say that anybody's going to last 10 years. But
see this right here? That was a PU episode right there. Right?
Oh.
That was an organic PU moment.
I can't see.
It's far away. Shouted, "Thanks, Troy!" And then
he making fun of you.
And then he scowled at the phone screener like somehow it was the phone screener's fault for you messing up his name.
I'm squinting.
You scowled. I know the difference between a squint and a scowl.
Do you now?
Actually, that was both. Yeah. He just kind of did both at the same time.
Hardy, you know what I get for today for a facial expression?
What's that? Oh, the nod.
Early.
Yeah,
no,
early.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
What, probably it wasn't 14-7. It wasn't after the Duggar interception.
It was 14-7. No, not just on that, but on the third down that Cleveland did not convert. On the ensuing drive, I looked at Mike. I said, "This game is over." And then when the Patriots got the ball back, and they converted on a third down from their own, I said, "Not only is the game over, this is going to be a blowout."
It was the completion to Meyers and then the completion to Bourne to make it 21-7. Where I believe we all thought it was over at that point. Alex, what do you got?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Great day.
So maybe a little bit of an overreaction, but this is the best I felt about this team since we won the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
I don't think that's an overreaction.
No.
I feel like we finally – I feel like for the first time in 3 years, we had an actual old-school Patriots football game, what we've been watching for 20 years, and I'm really happy for that. The only thing about this game, I'm not as high as you guys are on Josh today. I would give him an A, but I wouldn't give him the A+. It felt to me that a lot of our play
You're right.
They didn't score 60 points.
They did have to punt once.
Yeah, Alex, we're gonna have to let you go. I'm sorry, because we have Jakobi Meyers joining us now here on the Patriots Postgame Show. Jacoby, congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Oh, what a fantastic game and a fantastic day for you. How did that feel?
It was amazing. Just the whole team, the way we played together and just came together and bonded and fought through the whole game. So it was definitely a fun time.
Go ahead, buddy.
Have you talked to your dad?
that was exactly what I was going to say.
Him after the game, but I got to do that in person.
Okay.
There you go.
He must be like
he is here, right?
You said what? I didn't hear you.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's at the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
I'm so happy that he was
I'm
here
happy.
for that. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I'm happy you got to see it too.
Jacoby, I want to ask you though first, just you made a couple tough catches early in the game. What did that kind of mean for you? And it felt like that was really kind of a spark to the offense, getting things going early on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those are definitely moments that I take the hardest. I want to be the guy that they call on third downs and in tough situations to go make a play. So they gave me opportunity to make that play, and I had to make sure I came down with it.
All right, when you caught the touchdown, let's go back to that. I mean, the sight of the whole team just running off the bench was amazing. Like, did you know that every player, every one of your teammates came off the bench to go see you?
When I turned around and just seen everybody coming, it was I can't even explain it, honestly. It was just something I hold on to forever.
Yeah, I mean, that shows how much they like you. I mean, that's great.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So this is what I'm going to do.
Everybody coming down.
Jacoby, I want to tell you, make sure you go back and watch the film because there was about 8 or 10 guys that didn't go.
Oh.
and I'd be taking names.
No.
No, that was I don't really remember seeing something like that.
No.
Where the entire team was
such a
as
moment.
excited for a touchdown like that.
They were all behind you.
Well,
yep.
Got to open the floodgates
Yeah,
now.
we all been waiting patiently for that moment, though. So
Yeah.
I'm happy everybody celebrated with.
Well, Jacoby, I am most excited for the way the touchdown was scored because you're going to be able to get a still photo of when you are reaching the ball across the goal line airborne. Like, if you had just caught it and you're all alone in the end zone, who cares? But that was that was a play that you made, and when you frame that thing up and maybe get a nice little commemorative plaque, things remembered at the mall, get it all done, it's going to look great.
Yeah, when you go to those card shows, you're going to make a fortune.
No, I agree.
All right, we really appreciate your time. Congratulations, not only on your touchdown, but on the win today. You guys look like you're in pretty good shape, even for the short week. You got a short week coming up, as I'm sure you know.
Oh, yes, sir. We already know. It's game day Wednesday.
All right, tell your dad we'll see him in Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Jakobi Meyers there. Thank you to Microsoft Windows 11, the official operating system of the NFL and the New England Patriots. The all-new Windows 11 is here to bring you closer to what you love, like the Patriots Postgame Show. Learn about all the awesome new features of Windows 11 at windows.com. That was a very cool organic moment.
It was. It really was.
Yeah, and as Fred kind of alluded to, it's his hometown this week. He's going to Atlanta to play there and probably first time playing against the Falcons. So keep it going. 1 touchdown. Let's get 2, right?
I don't know if it was necessary, but certainly on brand for Paul to point out that there were maybe 8 to 10 guys.
We were laughing.
That was
we
joke.
were
We were laughing about it. No,
yeah.
but we were laughing about
Justin
it in
Bethel,
the press
you're
box.
not going to go down there?
But we joke about, like, they don't care about stuff. They all knew
it's
that
officially going to be a tie.
They all knew he needed that touchdown. It wasn't like a secret. You know, it was on everybody's mind, and that was great. It was like Hardy said, it was an organic moment. One of those.
And those are the moments that, like, you won 45 to whatever, but that's a moment that the team can take and build on. Everybody got on board with it, and
it's like you hit a walk-off home run or something. It was great.
We're going to step aside momentarily here, and when we return, more of your phone calls here, 855-PATS-500, emails, webradio@patriots.com here on the Patriots Postgame Show, which is presented by Cyber Reason, official defenders of the New England Patriots.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes Cyber Reason. End cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
TouchView Interactive is here to support your hybrid learning, distance learning, and video conferencing needs with easy-to-use tools that allow end users to collaborate, interact, and present seamlessly. TouchView Interactive offers a comprehensive line of accessories and software to support your audio-visual needs. Outfit your classrooms and presentation spaces with the future of interactive display technology. Visit touchview.com for more info. Offered by the Oakers Company, celebrating 100 years of service and support.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
I think since he started to play, Fred, you listening?
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Ace Ticket hotline, 855-PATS-500. Join us here. Talk about the big win for the Patriots today, 45-7 over the visiting Cleveland Browns. They moved to 6-4 on the season. And we go to Spee, our buddy Spee out in Fresno. What's happening, Spee?
I can't believe the comedy of errors that just unfolded with that Lions-Steelers game. I mean,
why is turning the ball over in overtime twice? Is that bad?
Yeah, it's not generally not. It's not indicative of good.
They were in
football
field
teams.
goal range twice to win the game and fumbled twice.
What do you want? It's they got a tie. It's good. It's fine.
Not good, Bob. Oh man, I see it, and again I get a delay, and then I get your guys' reaction. It's pretty fun. I recommend it to everyone listening. But
well, I was doing that. Hardy's a Lions fan, as you know, so he's living and dying at the place.
No, it's fine. I've been both a fan of the Lions and the Patriots for a while now, without fear of them meeting up in the Super Bowl. So it's a, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. It's possible to be fans of more than one team.
Oh,
I
absolutely agree.
Yeah. So that's not.
I agree.
Whatever, it happens.
Now you only have one team if they play.
Oh yeah.
And my guess is your team would be the Lions.
Oh, if the Lions met up with the Patriots in the Super Bowl,
right?
Yeah, I would have to.
And Fred would have to.
You would have to, or would you want to? What do you want to do?
Fred, it's a good thing the Panthers didn't sign Cam Newton last week. By the way,
I want the Lions to win a Super Bowl or a playoff game. I have one in my lifetime. Okay. I would like the Lions to have at least one more playoff game. So if it were,
he'll settle for a playoff game.
A playoff win, just a playoff win. They have one in 1991. That's it. That's their only one. So I would like one more of those.
Pretty hardy on that.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, what do you got on today's game with the Patriots, Spee?
Today, baby.
Yes, sir. That 99-yard, 11-play drive was the best of the season. I think it's probably best I've seen the team. I was thinking back. You have to go to 2019, that first game versus the Steelers. I think that since then we haven't seen anything at that level until today. I was pretty surprised. I completely misevaluated this. I thought that Mac was going to have a rookie meltdown game just with Stevenson's health being a question, with their good pass rush, their run defense. And I thought Mac was going to have to, and he did have to throw on third down, and he did, and he was amazing. I guess the question I got coming out of this one, I'm curious you guys' take on this one. Curious. I think we've correctly evaluated the Patriots defense, especially linebacking core, as seeming at times old and slow. But at the same time, they're looking pretty good these past couple of games. And, it's possible. Did we misevaluate it? Is it something about the opponents? Is it personnel, like younger players, Paul, with Duggar, playing today a bit nice? Is it
no, actually, it was the other guys.
Game plan?
Hightower, I thought Hightower and Van Noy were as active today. I think Hardy mentioned Juwan Bentley, too.
Yep.
I thought those guys were active. Now, I also would say Cleveland ran the ball. But it didn't matter because the Patriots' offense was so good, they took them out of that. Yeah. So, it was 19 for 99 for Dearness Johnson. And most of that came on that very first drive, 58 yards on the first drive. So I thought that overall the defense was really good today, and they got Cleveland to throw the ball, and that's what I thought was going to be important. Make him throw the ball to beat you. I didn't think he could, and he didn't.
Yep.
And I think the secondary. See, I'm confused because as I'm watching, you don't really get to see the secondary as well on the TV.
Yeah.
So I'm curious from your guys' vantage, how was the coverage downfield? Because it really seemed like Baker had to hold the ball more often than he'd like to. And so was it good, tight coverage down the field?
Yep. I thought it was excellent. I had J.C. Jackson listed as one of my goods.
Jackson was good.
For just some individual effort and just blanketing the receivers to where there was really nowhere for Baker to go, safely.
Yeah,
and I think they can.
And Landry doesn't look like the guy he used to be.
I actually said to Deuce, it looks like he's hurt, and either that or he's lost it because he was going down a lot on some of those catches. But I thought the Patriots' coverage was really good, and I thought they did a good job confusing him too. The Duggar pick was an example of that. It looked like they had either that or it was just a bad play by Cleveland because they had two guys in the same spot. Peoples-Jones and Njoku were in the same spot on that play, and I can't imagine it's designed that way.
Yeah, it's like he carried him right into the passing window.
And Duggar read it all the way, easy pick coming underneath. I thought the secondary was good. Again, that's, 3 in a row now for the secondary.
Yeah, they almost had a couple others,
I think the defense has turned a corner, to be honest with you. I think that they're much better right now than they were, say, a month ago.
All right. Thanks for the call, Speed. We appreciate it. We'll go to Marcus in New Jersey now in the Patriots postgame show. What's up, Marcus?
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. What do you got for us?
I got a one bigger question.
All right.
On a short week, on a Thursday night football, what's the expectations for when we face off the Falcons?
Well, the Falcons got pasted today.
They did.
Ryan got benched, right?
Yeah, coming off a good game last week.
Yes.
And so normally you could say, okay, they're at home, they're going to bounce back, and they're going to be motivated. But I don't think the Falcons are that type of team. Yeah,
motivated. I have to say, I've been watching very good football so far. I think this is better than the 2 years ago, the Boogeyman. I think this is better than it was 2 years ago.
You know what?
So what do you guys think?
I'll say this.
It might be more real.
Yeah. I was going to say they did it against the Chargers, and that's a better offense than they did it against in any of those 8 games that they started that season.
Yes.
Yep.
So I just so happy that it's been 4 in a row. Even though at home, it's great to get a good victory at home.
Yeah, Marcus, thank you for the call, and also thank you for pointing out something that I think we take for granted: 4 wins in a row. Which, when this team was 2-4, I'm sure we all had some version of the conversation. What do you think they're going to do? Win 4 in a row now? And did anybody reasonably think that was in the cards for this team, the way they were playing at 2-4?
Yes.
I think 3-1 may have been a more reasonable, optimistic approach.
I would have gone 3-1, but absolutely. I don't think that you can just take 4-game winning streaks for granted.
You can't take them for granted. And also all these, conventional thoughts about, well, the Browns coming off a big win against Cincinnati, now they're rolling. So I also want to apply that to us. It's like, they're going to roll into Atlanta the way I'm sure Bill and Josh and everyone there are not going to allow them to think too much of themselves.
Just keep it rolling.
But I do think Atlanta will play. I think they'll, they're going to be at home. They were embarrassed today, and I think that they will respond to that. And I'm not telling you they're going to win.
I think any type of conventional thought that you can apply toward you're behind the 8 ball here. You need to get it together so you can get a win on Thursday.
It's not going to be 45-7.
That's how you have to think about things.
Yeah, I just
Won't give up a touchdown.
Right.
45-3.
Yeah, good.
No, tougher team, 45-10.
But I mean, if you had to say, one way or the other, whether they're going to win easily or be a dogfight, I'll say they'll win easily.
Really?
Right? If I have to choose?
I mean, the way they're rolling right now, if they can continue that, I mean, Atlanta has been like damaged goods for a while with all the late games that they've blown. And, there's just something about them that they have no mystique at all. I don't know. Like, even when you're down on them,
it
feel
seems like they've lost every game, but they've won like 4, right?
Yeah, they're 4-5. They also have no players.
Yeah.
Like, they're completely rebuilding it. So I worry because it's a Thursday night road game, and I think those games are tough.
But I do like.
But I don't worry about the team they're playing.
No, and I do like the way the defense is playing. I think, Paul, you just said, it looks more real. This doesn't look like a bunch of flashy plays. And even Hightower today, who we have kind of put in that category of, God, I don't really even notice him out there. Today, now, there were a couple of tackles after catches, but he was wrapping guys up and he was stopping. There were no yards after the catch. He was doing his job. He wasn't showing great speed and bursting through and changing the momentum of the game, but he was stopping any real momentum from getting going from the Browns. And at this point, I'll take that as a huge win, as a sign of improvement.
Yeah, I think like Marcus said, the boogeymen came out, beat up on all these teams early in the season, where front runners kind of then they faded. This year they started a little slower, but the hope is now that all right, now they're going to come on and they're going to be those guys that they were toward the end of the season, and they're playing really well. I don't think it was quite as dominant on the line of scrimmage as it was last week.
What do you got on that, Freddie?
But overall, I
you're
think
not
it
watching?
was great.
I think it's going to be ruled a catch. I think.
Well, they ruled it a catch, but it looks like his shoulder comes down out of bounds.
No, but his butt got down.
I thought his butt got down.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought his shoulder was the first thing to hit, but
I love the corner there in Denver, and every defensive player does it. Starts pointing at things like, "Hey, ref, maybe you didn't see this, but he was definitely out of bounds here." No, they're watching. They might even have a better angle than you do. It's just they got cameras too. They can.
Hardy with the ref defense.
I was going to say, I don't think that's a good defense.
No, I think
they were watching last week too in that Chicago game.
Every single player is going to. It's like, do you really believe the Broncos?
I thought his shoulder was the first thing to hit out of bounds.
Well, you're incorrect.
Yeah, you are.
Well, they're looking at it.
Oh yeah.
It's
a touchdown.
They're looking at it.
They never look at touchdowns after they're scored.
Not generally.
What are you talking about? They have to. All scoring plays are reviewed.
No, this is under review, not looking at it to make sure it's a touchdown. There's a difference. They don't always stop the game. They stop the game.
Oh, maybe it's a little closer than they thought. Right.
So the referee's going to look at it.
You know what we should
Not
do?
all touchdowns get looked at by the referee.
We should try and have a nice post game this week because we started.
Well, we don't have anything to argue about with the Patriots.
Okay.
They were dominant.
So last week we argued
not
about.
Today.
Last week we argued about whether there was going to be traffic leaving here because of the Revolution game, and
I was full disclosure. This guy, your friend, was making fun of you because there was nothing.
There was no. Wait a second. Are you saying there was no traffic leaving here last week?
No.
There was traffic up Route 1.
You had traffic, Matt? I had
yes.
nothing.
I was actually let out that back entrance over by Spooky Lot. There was so much traffic they were letting people out that way.
Yes.
I literally got down Route 1.
How long did it take you? I
literally got out Route 1 in 2 minutes.
How long did it take you to get out to Route 1?
Same as it does every other game.
Oh, you're such a liar.
Hardy, I'm not lying. Why would I lie?
How long did you sit in your car? What were you doing in your car?
I got in my car and I went up to the first aisle. First car coming stopped and let me in. Maybe I got a little lucky on that. So I got right in, and then it went right around the corner. I stayed in the right lane all the way down Route 1. Stayed on Route 1.
Breakdown lane?
Yeah, stayed on Route 1.
Breakdown lane wasn't open. Scofflaw.
No, it's always open after games like that.
Not after a Revolution game.
I got all the way down to Walpole Park South.
When did you leave and when did you leave?
We left
same
at the
time.
same time.
After the post.
And I stayed on Route 1 because that's where I usually hit traffic is when you get on Route 1 and 95 in the split between 93 and 95.
Yeah, you got
so I
the
stay
left
on
lane.
Route 1 and I go down to Dedham because, Guy.
You're from Dedham.
You're from Dedham. You don't even know.
Wow.
Anyway, I did not hit a lot of traffic.
All right,
it was very similar to a regular game.
Okay, let's not argue. Is all I'm saying.
No.
Okay.
I don't have it in me today.
And I got two names I'm going to avoid if I see them on the call screener because we had two really unfortunate calls at the end of the last post game show. I thought.
Are you still mad at that guy?
You don't think they needed OBJ today, kid?
There was the one guy that you got mad at, too.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
You remember it, though.
No, the guy that was making fun of me and calling me dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I remember it, because he was calling me dude.
T in Florida. Don't call Paul dude, and don't call me Barney Fife. There, that's my advice to you. Go ahead.
I know you have me mistaken with somebody else, but that
Well,
was
I'm not your dude.
Great traffic talk. No, you thought I was going to do a Mr. T imitation, but I refrained from that.
Addiction, pain.
All right. Well, what do you have for us on the game today?
I've got 3 points, and 2 of them are brilliant.
All right.
I'll be the judge.
First of all,
I lied. I could get into an argument. Go ahead, T.
Okay. The argument about Bill Belichick and Brady, let's just end it. It's both of them. A game like today, that just shows you Belichick at his greatest.
I agree. It's always been both of them.
Team,
yep, I'm with you.
I think that team is actually better than us, has more talent than us.
Not today.
But it comes down to coaching.
Yeah,
and that was just a great win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'll agree with that last sentence. That was a great win.
And we gave a lot of credit to the coaches, to McDaniels and the coaching overall for the game today.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right, point number 2. Every prognosticator of this game had it as a close game, and many had Cleveland as winning.
Yep.
Like who?
I didn't see anybody seeing a blowout.
Fred did.
It's kind of amazing to me that
Fred saw a
that
blowout.
Nobody even came close to it.
Yeah, Fred picked a
Fred
blowout.
say that?
Yep.
28-14.
28-14. Didn't think it would be close.
Okay, take a bow, Fred. That's
Sniff.
great.
Give another sniff,
I
Fred.
do every week.
Give another sniff, Fred.
Yeah. But I will say, I think normally you're right about Cleveland with the talent. But today they were literally down to one running back.
Yeah, I mean,
And we were complaining because we had 3.
Their starting tackles were out. Their running backs were out. They were missing players. Now the Patriots were missing players too, and the Patriots played great.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think the Patriots were less talented today than the team that I saw them play.
No, and T, thank you for the call. We appreciate it. The
He didn't
whole
get to his third brilliant point.
Yeah.
Did that sound like Tom Brady Sr. to anybody else? I thought it
Maybe
sounded-
T
it
Brady.
sounded
It was T
I thought
Brady.
3.5 minutes was plenty.
Yeah, I agree.
But the notion that these teams were going to be engaged in a tight game stemmed from them being, the Spider-Man meme this week of the Browns and the Patriots.
The fact that the Patriots were favored by 1.5.
That too.
That could have been
that has something to do with it. Yeah. So
you know what, I'm not here for the idiot call after every game. Like it's just so tiring. Like everybody knew what was going to happen in the game after it happens.
Right.
Like I didn't see anybody call a blowout. Well, Fred did. He's sitting right next to me. He did it on.
Well, even I didn't think it would. I thought it wouldn't be a blowout. To me, that's not a blowout.
A 14-point game is a blowout.
Well,
unless it's like they scored in the last play of the game to make it 14.
Right,
It was
right.
close the whole 28-14. You had them winning handily. Let's call it that way. And I give you credit because I didn't see it. I thought it was going to be a close game. I'm not going to come back on what I thought. I thought it was going to go down back and forth. I thought just the way the game started was what I was envisioning, but the defense didn't show up for the Browns. And I thought they were better defensively than they showed.
I have to admit, my pick was as much about disappointment in the Browns than it was the Patriots because I had the Browns going. I had them going to the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
So
but and that's not a terrible pick.
No, but
we'll never know. They got completely decimated.
I've just been like, they're not that good this year.
No, they're not not with what they have.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ken in the Navy. What's going on, Ken?
Fellas, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Ken. Fine Navy Day.
I got to say, Hardy, you're the reason I call into the post-game show. You're a man after my own heart.
Oh, thank
you.
I
love you.
Thank you.
Great.
You keep me calling back every week or when I can.
He's great.
Talented.
Mediocre.
What's that?
Super talented.
They all pretend not to like me, Ken. It's okay. I know, as long as I know you do. I think they do, but I know you do.
You do know what I do with people I don't like.
Hardy,
I don't make
we are
fun
not
of them.
like your radio buddies. We do
You
like
can say that again.
on your radio buddies. They say you like you, but then you turn around and you got a shiv in your back.
That's just Zolak.
I don't. I don't make fun of guys I don't like. Let's
Right,
put it there.
exactly.
I don't
Just
waste
don't-
my. I don't waste my time.
I appreciate it. All right.
We're genuine.
So Ken, what about what do you have on the game today, Ken?
Well, yeah, I guess Fred likes to call it media grousing among the media members. I guess this would be fan grousing. I don't know. I think on balance we're getting better as week to week, which is exactly what you want to see. But I still see a lot of room for improvement. Grave concerns about our middle linebackers. Juwan Bentley, great going north to south. If he's in the area of somebody or happens to run into them, that's usually when he makes a play. But I still have grave concerns about that, especially in coverage. On the opposite, other side of the coin, I'd say the secondary looked great. I didn't see any flags. I don't think we got charged with PI this game. Is that right?
No.
No pass interference?
Nope. I don't even think there was a defensive holding, was there?
No.
I mean,
there was a hands to the
in
face.
today's NFL, that's pretty good.
When?
I was going to say that was on offense.
Oh, right. What am I
Right?
talking about? Right, exactly. Yeah, defense. I mean, there was an encroachment. Yep. And
Yeah,
then
but
Uche,
there were two of them, Uche and Davis.
Yeah.
Let me tell. And Ken, thanks for the call, buddy.
But what today worried you about the linebacker play?
Nothing.
I'm not saying Ken's got that's a valid concern, big picture. But do you not think it's been better lately? And today, I thought it was excellent.
And listen, I think we need to get an answer. I think the defense they're dialing up good calls at good moments. Is it Bill? Is it Steve? What's the deal?
That's the word. Is that
because
Bill,
somebody's doing a good job at that.
I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to it, but that's certainly going around the rumor mill in the back channels. Is that Bill has stepped back and put more time into the defense, and he's running the show now.
Yeah.
And this could be one of those things. Oh, they're playing great defense lately. Bill took the defense over 3 weeks ago, or it could be valid. I really don't.
But
don't have any way of knowing.
I think that they're when we say Juwan Williams and they don't have like this star-studded defensive roster except for Judon, but they just seem to make the right plays. They're playing smart defense.
It's just a well-coached team.
They
They're
really
a
are.
well-coached team on both sides of the ball, and I think that's what we're seeing in the last couple of weeks. It's just, it's not one player standing out.
No.
It's everybody kind of doing their thing. And, I mean, I get, Ken kind of playing the drum of the old linebacker thing, but I think there's a trade-off there, and I think that's a trade-off that they're willing to make schematically where we'd rather win the front seven and maybe give up some of those checkdowns in the middle, and maybe we got, a linebacker gets lined up on a running back sometimes and we lose there, but otherwise we're going to win the front and we're going to make them, play on their heels and attack them, and I think that it's effective. It's those guys have been playing better, and hopefully they can continue to.
And don't leave when you're talking about the star-studded defense. You got Kyle Van Noy. He's a star. You just ask him. He'll tell you straight up. I kid.
Superstar.
No, but I just
he took
think-
a shot at my golf course recently. I have to fire back a little
personal.
bit. Yeah, it is a little bit personal now.
But I think if you had the truth serum with Bill, he'd rather have a whole defense of smart, middle-of-the-road players
that are going the
than
right place and,
a couple studs and then guys who are lacking.
He wants a whole team like that, including the
but I'm just talking
quarterback.
about like on offense, you need certain guys to make plays. You know
why he wants it like
Right.
that?
Why?
So he gets the credit.
But on
You're
offense,
right.
you can't get away with it. On defense, if everyone's playing, together and doing what they're supposed to do to a certain level, you can get by without having, the Reggie Whites or whatever.
That was the game today. And, it just a couple of standout plays here and there. We mentioned Kyle Van Noy. You mentioned Dante Hightower, guys who have been not bad, but just kind of like absent from your memory after a game today. I remember their plays. I remember what they did. And, of course, Judon is going to be out there. But whether it's Bentley or other guys all stepping up today and not game breakers or anything like that, everyone doing their jobs collectively for small numbers of plays, and that's enough to get it done, especially against a decimated
And I'll
team.
give you another example. That first drive where the Patriots looked so bad.
Yeah.
That's not like the same players that were lauding, is that the word?
Lauding.
That were lauding, were bad on that. It was, they guessed wrong. That whoever was calling in the plays, they were preparing for something else on that first drive that wasn't happening. It was clear that they were way out of position for what was coming at them.
Yeah.
And so that was, you have to blame that on whoever's calling in the plays just as much as you give them credit, later on in the game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because the Patriots were suddenly bad.
I know. And it's that rule of I always just don't overreact to the first drive. I always try to tell myself that. And even it looks so easy on that one.
Offensive and defensive.
I always try because like you said, I think maybe they spun, we're going to spring something on them. It worked. Everybody's going to adjust, but it's just a general rule of
thumb. And how often have we seen that where the Patriots look bad on that first drive?
Well, maybe Bill did take over the defense after the first drive. That's when it happened today.
Yeah.
No, I thought you said I had something else, Paul.
I thought we were getting ready to take a break.
We are.
Okay, so I can say
it'll keep?
Yeah.
It'll keep. All right.
Not important at all.
Quick break. Thanks to Cyber Reason. Patriots Postgame Show is brought to you by Cyber Reason. Great defenders don't just play on the field. They're also protecting your company and data. Cyber Reason on a mission to end ransomware and keep your business undefeated against cyber attacks. Learn more at cyberreason.com/ransom.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes Cyber Reason. End cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
TouchView Interactive is here to support your hybrid learning, distance learning, and video conferencing needs with easy-to-use tools that allow end users to collaborate, interact, and present seamlessly. TouchView Interactive offers a comprehensive line of accessories and software to support your audio-visual needs. Outfit your classrooms and presentation spaces with the future of interactive display technology. Visit touchview.com for more info. Offered by the Oakers Company, celebrating 100 years of service and support.
An active lifestyle means you never stop moving. That's why only Theragun devices are designed to release your body's deepest muscle tension, so you can do the things you love. You only have one body. Make it a TheraBody.
It all starts now.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
Is it a problem, or do you just have turkeys?
I don't know. I feel like I'd be like, hey.
There's a difference.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Thinking back on that, it was an excellent question.
It was.
No,
you
thank
just
you.
have turkeys, or do you have a problem?
Right. 855-PATS-500. That's the Ace Ticket hotline. Give us a call. We'll talk to you like we're about to with Garrett in New Jersey, here with Deuce and Fred and Paul and me, Hardy. What's going on, Garrett?
Hey, good evening, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
I like the show. You're welcome. A few weeks back, you guys were saying that we can't pencil in wins. Can we start to pencil in some wins now?
No. Nope.
I'm looking at the upcoming. Why not?
Who do you want?
Look at the league.
Who do you want to pencil it in on? I'll
Jacksonville.
Yes, you can pencil that one in. I have
Maybe
no
the last
problem.
two. Maybe the last two.
I have no problem. I'm not penciling in the Miami one.
No, in Miami, no way.
No.
I'm going to tell you right now, Miami's going to be
We
like
should've
7-7
beat them
when they
the
play
first
that game.
Other than a fumble.
Yeah, so what does that mean? It means the game could go either way.
Yeah, I'm still listen. If there was,
They lost. I didn't say they can't win, but you said you're penciling it in.
I'd love to be penciling in games, but look at the league this year. And you know me, I have a feel for the league, and we're part of this league.
You do have a feel for the league.
You can't pencil in the wins.
Jacksonville, you can pencil in.
No,
they're not losing at home to Jacksonville.
Well,
but I think
Tennessee,
if Atlanta was a regular Sunday game, I'd pencil that one in too. But Fred's right. Like short week, Thursday night game.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Garrett.
Okay. I was curious to see his
I thought he
reasoning.
was going to retort.
Yeah.
He had time. What do you want me to do? Just sort of long periods of silence. You want to let the,
just
these
because I
segments
think
breathe?
they're going to I wholeheartedly expect them to beat Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville, no question. But I'm with Fred. Like
those other ones.
Buffalo lost to Jacksonville. Dallas lost to Denver.
Tennessee lost to the Jets.
Tennessee lost to the Jets. Like these right now, Arizona's losing to Carolina 20-0. Like these games have happened, and to think that the Patriots are impervious to that, like, and then to throw, well, they had Miami beat, but they fumbled. Yeah, and then they lost, which meant the game could have gone either way. Right? It was 17-16, and they fumbled. If they don't fumble, they probably win. Yes. So did you pencil that one in? Like that's the way you envisioned it? We're going to kick a field goal in the last play of the game to win by 2? Like, but I penciled that one. Like, Jacksonville, I just can't see them losing to.
You can't
see them losing
You
to
might want to talk yourself
Here
into
in
a win at the Colts, but
No
week before
way.
you have to come home and play the Bills.
Yeah, but
no.
there's something.
The Colts are good.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
something
Jonathan
going
Taylor.
on with Jacksonville's defense, believe it or not. They're you know,
they played well today
They're
again.
stepping it up.
Yeah.
You know? So
Everybody's got little signs of life here and there if you want to look for it.
Listen,
I mean,
I as much as we're like giddy right now, all it takes is one team to have consistent pressure on Mac in a game. He's still a rookie, folks.
Yeah.
And
Don't forget that.
And I would also say that, you're watching what's happening to some teams, right, here and there. And today, the Browns came into a game without all their running backs. Who's to say, like, the Patriots are going to play one of these games and they're going to be missing 2 or 3 really important people that you just find out about that, that week or whatever. Mac Jones gets banged up like Baker Mayfield is right now. He's been hurt all year.
Yep.
Now, I don't think Baker Mayfield is playing all that well. But he does have a torn labrum and a bad knee, and then said whatever happened to him today was separate from any of that. It was a different injury, he said in his post-game press conference. So, like, you just never know what's going to happen. But, I mean, I feel pretty comfortable about Jacksonville. The at-Miami game always is trouble, even when Miami stinks like they do right now.
Yeah.
They play.
But they're playing tougher.
Like, well, they've played kind of tough all year. They haven't had many blowouts. They got blown out by Tampa, and handful of others, but they've had a chance to win some of the other games that they lost. They play coming up in the next month or so. They play the Jets twice. I forget who else. There's like maybe I think Carolina and the Giants at home. Like if they win, I'm not penciling in wins for Miami either at 2-7. But if they win those, all of a sudden you sort of got something going, and then you climb back to 7-7 around Thanksgiving. That's a team that says, hey, we're not that same team that we were back in October. We're a different team now.
Yeah.
Like if they were 7-7, and then the Patriots were playing them in Miami, would you say that that's a lock?
I've seen too many crazy games down there against the Patriots to say
Now,
anything.
Chances are they won't win all those games. They'll probably lose one of the Jets games.
Yeah.
Because they're just like the Jets.
But I think you've got a good slate of teams that Tennessee, Indianapolis, these are still good AFC. Don't even mention Buffalo. I mean, there's a team that, a year ago you're looking at Buffalo as like,
yeah, but now
looking up at these guys forever. Now you're like,
I think I could split with
maybe
them.
we got
Yeah.
a chance. So, maybe this team's going to give that team some problems. But just the state of the NFL, I don't know how you can look ahead, and I don't know why you would want to look ahead. It's like each week is its own adventure. I know I saw somebody, I think Albert Pierre, tweeting about how each week is crazy. So that's what's fun. Thursday night, Atlanta, keep it rolling. A 5th game in a row, it would be huge, but I have trouble looking past any of that.
So
I know there's a lot of big games waiting.
The Dolphins' losses, they lost in overtime to the Raiders. They lost on a field goal in the last play of the game to Jacksonville. They lost in a field goal in the last play of the game to the Falcons. They had that game against the Bills a couple of weeks ago that they ended up losing 26-11, but it was like 17-11 in the fourth quarter, if you recall. It was a lot closer. And then they won the last 2, right? So now they come up and they play the Jets, the Panthers at home, the Giants at home, then the Jets at home. And then they have the Saints and the Titans before they play the Patriots. Like, there's a chance that they could get back to 7-7 and have to go to New Orleans with a New Orleans team that right now is dealing with Trevor Siemian playing quarterback, and you never know what you're going to get out of them. What if they steal that game and they're 8-7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
I
think Miami stinks. Don't get me wrong.
Just for those interested, looking at 538's updated odds standings. Patriots up to 71% make the playoffs, 26% to win the division. So better than a quarter chance.
It's getting there.
Getting up
there. Yeah, we're creeping up there.
Let's get back to the phones here. Bill in San Diego is joining us now on the Patriots Postgame show. What's up, Bill?
Gentlemen, good afternoon. How's everybody?
Hey, Bill. Good.
Good. 45-7, big win today.
It was a big win. And normally, as a New Englander in general, I still find faults, but I can't. It was all great for me today, including even the first drive where they gave up that quick touchdown. Well, not quick, but they gave up the touchdown. I chalk some of it up to, the Browns, every team scripts their first 15 plays, so it's harder to defend than when teams are just on the fly. So I gave them a little bit of a pass for that, and then the defense was lights out from there. I will say this is the first week in a year and a half that I didn't miss Tom Brady as my quarterback. This is one where Mac did everything, every throw I loved by him. Most, with the exception of that bomb, they were pretty much all catchable. I love that. And how happy are you guys for Meyers, even if it was garbage time, finally getting his first touchdown as a Patriot?
Very happy.
Awesome.
Receiving touchdowns as a Patriot.
So let me ask you a question. During the break, I posed this question. If Tom Brady says, "I'll come back today, and I'll finish the season with you and do one more season," Matt can watch me for a couple years and then come back. Would you do it? Would you take Tom back right now?
Boy, it is so hard for me to say this. If Tom had stayed, I would have loved it for Mac to sit for a year. But Mac's got momentum, and the team's behind him. And right now, I would honestly say, Tom, I love you, and I can't wait for you to get your red jacket. But this is Mac's team now.
I think most fans would say that. I think most fans would agree right now.
Not for that reason, but Tom Brady's 44. I'm done. I'll take this guy. I want to get better with
Tom
this
Brady's
guy.
44, but he's not done.
No, but I'm just saying that stage of the Patriots is done.
Yeah.
And right now, you're much better off getting this guy ready for both the short term and the long term. I have no real interest in going back.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's a tough question to answer, Bill, because without all these qualifiers, like, I'm not saying that Mac is a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
No,
I'm not saying I don't appreciate, but when you play it out,
on.
when you play it out longer than this season, and quite frankly, it does feel like they're starting to build something here, and a lot of it has to do with the way the defense is playing, but the way the offense is coming together without that one real standout performer each week.
Fred's right. Today, most Patriots fans would say. If you asked them last week, I don't know what the answer would have been.
Yeah.
Well,
jeez.
That's the roller coaster.
17 points. I mean, what are we doing?
Let's go to Pat Nagawam. What's up, cousin Patty? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Just doing some grilling and picking up some dinner for me and the girls.
Doing some grilling and chilling.
Wait, you're grilling and picking up dinner?
No, I'm grilling and just whipping up some dinner.
Oh, whipping up dinner. I understand. All right, go ahead. What do you got on the game?
So picky.
Well, I had two questions, Paul. You kind of answered one of them, which is when you gave the nod. But do you think we can start calling this defense legit? I mean, I think week by week they've been getting steadily better, And
the Chargers game to me was the one that opened my eyes, because I think the Chargers have a really good offense, and I thought they made them work for everything they got that day, and I think they turned a corner.
I think they're legit. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see when they go against Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, how they're able to stop the run. It'll be interesting to see when they go against a team that has a few different receiving threats that kind of stretch their secondary a little bit. Those could be challenging.
I think Indy is very similar to the team they played today. Yep. I think they can run the ball, but that's all they can do. And if that's all you can do, you're going to be in trouble. You're not going to be able to do, because I don't think Carson Wentz is capable of making a lot more throws than Mayfield did today. And they don't really have, the breadth of receivers that we're talking about. That's why the Chargers game to me was the one that stood out.
Yeah.
That was a really good defense. And that's why, the Chargers got 24 points, because they're good.
Yeah.
You don't shut out those good offenses.
When you look at the rest of the Patriots' schedule,
it's the Bills.
It's the Bills.
Get specific about the
and
Bills.
When it comes
That's what it's about. I mean,
threat.
this is a team that doesn't really run. They pass the ball. They've got a bunch of threats. You got Emmanuel Sanders. You've got Diggs. You've got Beasley. You've got a bunch of guys, and you've got to deal with Josh Allen. So, I mean, that's, I don't want to oversimplify it, but I think that you got to get at least one from the Bills. If you want to really prove that you're a legit contender, I think you got to hold serve against the Bills at home and, deal with that matchup and everything that it entails.
If you're going to win the division, obviously you have to win a game. But, I think that they're making great progress. They're going to be right there for a playoff game, whether they win, one of those games or not.
Yeah.
I think they're going to win enough of these games. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
they're not going anywhere.
I just think that's probably the only chance you're going to play before the playoffs, a team that can throw the ball like that. The other teams are a lot of, run-heavy and run-centric kind of teams.
Yeah, Tennessee and Indy kind of profile.
And a little bit of Miami, a little bit with Atlanta
profile
this
like
week.
Indy.
Yeah.
All right, Pat. Thanks. Yep. Oh, there he goes. Okay. 855-PATS-500. We'll get to some of your
grill.
emails, too.
What does his family say? Like, he's getting dinner ready, and he's calling us, and they're like, Dad, we're hungry. We're hungry.
But if it's on the grill,
multitasking.
And not time to turn. Or you could flip, be on the phone. You can turn it.
He's like Chatham. He's got it all on an internal timer, and he knows exactly when it'll be ready.
You do a lot
His
of grilling,
meats.
Fred?
I used to a couple times this year. Just didn't really get around to it a lot.
Oh. How do you check the temperature of your meats? Are you like a finger?
I do it by
testing?
time.
Just time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Why, what do you do?
Go by gut.
Do you have a thing?
Gut feel. After I eat it, if my gut feels like I'm going to barf it.
Kind of grill do you have?
I do. The sniff. I have a Weber gas grill.
Oh, okay.
I do too, but evidently that's not any
It's
good
not.
anymore.
I know it's not.
It's a good grill.
No, you gotta go charcoal. Is that it?
No.
What?
No.
A green egg?
MHP.
Oh, it's an abbreviation on it.
Yeah.
that
Check it out.
Propane tank?
Yep.
So I'm hardlined into the house.
Oh.
I don't have to worry about messing around with propane tanks.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right. I'm going to attempt this first name. Go ahead, chuckle if you want.
Okay.
Kakar in Jacksonville. Did I say that right?
Hey, yeah, you did.
Nice.
And I know you didn't ask me this question, but I'd love to answer Fred's question.
Okay.
Which was absolutely yes, I would want Brady back.
Oh, okay.
If Mac's going to have a 15, 20-year career, why not have Brady back for 1 year and one last ride? Like,
15 or
kind of like
20
Peyton
year
had,
career.
just riding off into the sunset, you know?
Boy, what I could. Can I get a bet down on that?
On Mac playing for
20 years? Can I get a bet
Well,
on
split the difference. 17 years. 17 years in the league?
I'm in.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to happen, most likely.
Well, that's the point. That's the
very-
point. I thought. Well, that's part of the point. It's like, how much would you really be giving up? Now, I still wouldn't do it, but I think you don't have to go 15 or 20 years. You can say, what about the next 7? Let's go 7 years. And if you just think about it in those terms, I would not be willing to sacrifice the last 5 for this year and one more of Brady. I wouldn't do that.
But as a fan, I actually watch every single Patriots game and Bucs game at the same time if I can. And especially seeing that game that Brady was in today, dealing with that crap, I know he'd want to come back for 1 year, and I would take him back with open arms.
What happened?
What was he doing?
I thought he had a bad game.
Every bad bounce, stupid penalties on both sides of the ball. Like, there were 2 or 3 offside penalties on third down. It was.
Patriots had a couple of those too.
Yeah,
That's the only thing. That was the only thing on the bad list for the Patriots.
Here's the thing, Kakar. He's also got the Super Bowl from last year to kind of balance out some knucklehead plays on third downs today. If he's really weighing his entire Tampa Bay experience,
From what I heard, he was a big part of the problem today.
Yeah, the 2 picks in the first
No,
quarter.
I mean, well, one of them.
I didn't see
and
any
out
of it, in
the
fairness.
hands of his receiver, completely not his fault.
Okay.
The second one, Mike Evans is soft and he didn't go up for the ball.
In other words,
But,
Fred, it was a
you know,
typical Brady
I love
game.
Brady.
Everybody sucks but me.
Well, it could be true.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm not teasing you, Kakar. I didn't see one play. Did not see one play of the game. I have no idea.
So watch the interceptions. They were the first one that it was literally in the dude's hands and he just threw it up in the air, kind of like Edelman did in that one playoff game. But
no Godwin, no Brown, no Gronk.
Was it Mad Tom on the sideline? Was he Pouty Tom?
Oh yeah, he was pouty, and the next play he came out and threw another interception. So,
Well, and
it
to
was,
me,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, and obviously we all know what Tom Brady is and what he meant to this team. But how many times did we see that over the years when things did not go well? It's like, well, don't watch this then.
Right. That's why I'm
gonna
saying
throw it anywhere.
that's why, like from what Fred was telling me, it sounded like it was a one of those Brady games.
Yeah,
today.
yeah, and it was probably overdue for
No.
one. Did you have anything else,
I
Kakar?
don't know. I'd like to get your thoughts later in the game, or later after you watch the game. But one bad thing I had on the Patriots game was, like, very minor, just the predictability on first down. And I'd like to get your thoughts on that. I felt like they were running with Stevenson way too often. Every first down, few yards up the middle, wasn't that great.
That's a fair second guess because they were so good on third down. It sort of gets glossed over, but I do think that they were a little
something to look at. Nothing jumped out at me during the game where I felt, because I remember a couple times specifically Paul was like, "Oh, we're passing on first down now." Like they'd spread out a couple times.
And
so
every time they did.
I'm not sure. That wasn't something that stuck out to me on the watching it live, but
I kind of carried over what I felt last week to this week. I didn't mind the running plays on first down. I'd much rather, take those 3 yards even. A 2nd and 7 is so much better than a 2nd and 10, and now you know what's going to be happening here. Give yourself some options on second down, even if it's not a great run on first down. Chances are you're going to pick up a couple fewer yards and give yourself a few more things that you can do on second down.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something to look at with a little bit of the play calling in the first, second down, and as Paul mentioned, a lot of third and longs that were challenging that they ended up in that they did convert, but that might gloss over a little bit of some of that lack of production.
They did have
in those
Harry
runs.
on the field for a ton of first downs, and they ran it and went nowhere. And I said, they're running Stevenson off tackle, and they did every time I said it, they ran it every time. And they did set up a lot of third downs that they converted, but you do wonder if maybe they got a little run heavy on first down.
Let's go to Brandon in Atlanta on the Ace Ticket Hotline here. Patriots postgame show, 45-7 the final over the Browns today. Brandon, what's up?
What's happening? I was calling mainly to just celebrate the win. It's a struggle for me to see Patriots games, so I had to, beg, borrow, and steal to get a stream that would work.
Freddie.
This Thursday, I ain't got to worry about that because I will be in that
going?
building.
Oh, nice.
Watch my boy.
Oh, I feel good now.
Nice.
So that's great. But
you think there'll be a lot of Patriots fans down there?
Oh, we deep down here.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
There's a couple bars, and Fitzy was down here for the Super Bowl the last one we won. So yeah, we are well represented because there's a big melting pot and whatnot.
Yep.
Those 28-3 shirts out.
My main thought was I think I'm kind of redeemed. There was a few weeks where I was just hiding my head because I don't know if y'all remember, but I called after the last preseason game and I was all hype and like, oh, our defense is great, our offensive line is great, and then Trent Brown got injured the first week. But I was like, I think I said like 12-5, and that was kind of crazy. So just what I saw during the preseason. But now I feel like maybe not 12-5, but like I guess maybe one game that's 11-6,
13-4
would be great. 13-4, or even just 11-6 would be great. We get in the playoffs, maybe catch somebody. There's a lot of injured teams out there. I just want to gauge I know I was tripping then, but is that more reasonable now?
Well, you're marching in that direction.
Absolutely more reasonable now.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. Enjoy the game.
So I watched the two Brady picks,
Yep.
and one of them was really a fumble, not a pick. He threw a little curl right to a guy who caught it, and then as he was securing the ball, the guy came in and popped it in the air, and the guy picked it off, and they ruled it an interception. It's really a fumble. Second one, he threw right to a guy. Mike Evans was coming across, and he said that Mike Evans quit on the ball. It was a bad throw. It was offline. So I would say one pick, definitely not Brady's fault.
And, it's a good question, Fred, but of like all the days to like be like, absolutely, I'll take Tom Brady back here over. Mac Jones played really well today.
That's why I said if you asked this question last week, it would not be everybody saying that.
Right. So
I would have still taken Mac Jones last week. I don't want to stop the momentum. I think that this is important for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And important for a certain provider of food there at the stadium in Atlanta, too. The Chick-fil-A will actually be open during a football game on Thursday, which is big for them. That franchise owner down there, he's got to be kicking himself. Oh, what was I thinking? Opening a Chick-fil-A, they don't allow me to open on game days on Sundays.
What
But
would
you'd be
happen
able to
if,
open
like,
on
a franchise
Thursdays.
owner said, "Screw it, I'm opening on Sunday"?
I don't think that's allowed.
Really?
I don't think
They-
you can
they
do
wouldn't
it.
let you do it?
I don't think so. They'd stop giving you the secret sauce.
Did you hear? Like, I heard a story. You know how like McDonald's will run a program and like McRibs are back.
Yeah.
and it'll have like at participating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, I guess there were some holdout franchisees, and they had to have that fine print because some of the franchises were like, "We're not
doing the
we're not
Shamrock
doing
Shake.
ribs.
Sorry.
We're
Right.
not. We do hamburgers and shakes and soda, and we're not doing ribs." And that's why they started to have that fine print.
Well, the rules do change. I was at Encore last night. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in there. It's the only 21 and over Dunkin' in the world. And it has to be that way because of where it was. But apparently the guy who owned the franchise there, he wouldn't sell. So when Steve Wynn was building it, it's like, all right, well, you can have a Dunkin' in here then because he wasn't going to sell his property when they were building it.
Good for him,
But it's
though.
21 and over.
Yeah.
It's the only one in the world.
They put bourbon in the coffee or something, or what?
I'm not saying they don't. Are we going to
Maybe
step
they
aside here,
do,
Matt?
and
You want to do
maybe
another
they
call?
do.
All right, we're gonna break right now, and then we will return and have more of the Cyber Reason Patriots post-game show. You're welcome to join us here via phone call 855-PATS-500, email webradiopatriots.com. We'll get to those next. Thank you to Bose, proud to be the official sound and official headphones of the Patriots and the NFL. Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds rule the quiet. Learn more at Bose.com.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes Cyber Reason. End cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
An active lifestyle means you never stop moving. That's why only Theragun devices are designed to release your body's deepest muscle tension, so you can do the things you love. You only have one body. Make it a TheraBody.
It all starts now.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
I'm a simple man. I like simple pleasures. I like lollipops in my mouth. And
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
All right, let's just move away from that as we continue the Patriots post-game show presented by Cyber Reason. Back to the phones and Alex in Chicago. Did we try and get Alex in Chicago once before or just as the pregame? I'm getting confused. Alex, hello.
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
So I just wanted to clarify from earlier. I gave Josh an A, but
this
you
a
know,
callback?
after listening to you guys, I give him an A+. You guys are right. He gets an A+.
All right, thank you. All right, no
We have other people. Sorry,
Yeah,
Alex.
Yeah, no callbacks. What are we doing?
Well, you're supposed to monitor this.
Well, what he? No,
I'm
in
supposed to
fairness-
monitor this?
you.
I'm screening
You're
the
the
calls?
host. You're
I'm
the
screening the
host.
call. Do you think there's more than one person named Alex in the city of
H-O-S-T.
Chicago? It's the
Host.
third largest city in the country.
Host.
You think there's more than one person named Alex there, yes or no?
Host.
Answer the question. Do you think there's more than
I
one
can
person
tell.
named Alex in Chicago?
Not that calls this show.
Damn it.
Captain's question private.
Technicality.
There's one Alex. There's a Willie in Philly. That's it.
In fairness, his call did get cut off because that's when Jakobi Meyers got on the line, and we had our
True.
riveting
Ah.
player interview.
All right, well, look at the
see?
draw.
Paul,
You know?
And then you hung up on him.
He got
Well, we
unlucky.
had to.
We had to.
We had to.
I won't. You know
I
what?
mean, this time.
To make it up to him, I won't hang up on Moises in Connecticut. Take as much time as you need. Go ahead.
Moises in Florida, you mean?
All right. Well, it says Connecticut on the screen. Hold on. I'm going to go punch LePan in the neck. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Moises.
Hello.
I'm back.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Good.
Good win. The identity of this team right now is blue collar, hard workers. And I haven't called for a long time because I was depressed with the product that we in the field last year. I mean, that's why I didn't call, but I always listen for the pregame show and the weekly show. So I just want to call in, say what's up, keep it going, Patriots.
I agree, Moises. Blue collar, like receivers blocking downfield. Blue collar.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
think it's
Moises.
very much a blue-collar team.
And Moises has called this season. I remember talking to him. So for him, not calling a long time
That
is
was
like
a different
2-3
Moises.
weeks.
Could be.
We do have multiple Moises.
That listen to this show.
That was the Moises from Connecticut. This is the
Idiot.
Moises from Florida.
It's hard to keep straight.
We have 2 CJs on the line.
Yeah, but which one do you want to talk to, Baltimore or Kansas City?
I always go by how long they've
Who's
been
been waiting the longest?
Yeah.
Kansas City. CJ, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Great win today, and really happy to see Jakobi Meyers get his first touchdown. I know that was huge, and great to see the team celebrate all of that. I really just wanted to call in and call out Eric for saying that we were going to be a 7-win team. I wonder who we feel closer to now, Brett's side of 10-7 or Eric's side of 7 and 10.
He's sweating out every one of these wins.
And here we are.
Yeah.
We've reached the blah portion.
That's
of the show.
okay. Blah away, CJ. Blah away.
Even when they blah Eric?
Oh, I have no problem with blowing Eric.
Yeah.
I make fun of Eric on a daily basis. Matter of fact, CJ, up in the press box today, I said, yeah, your 7-win thing's not looking too good. So I already blowed him in person.
I actually think he was 5 and
Good.
No, he said 7 wins.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
But maybe
I
5.
thought he said 5.
5 to
Thanks,
7.
guys.
Thanks, CJ.
All right.
Thanks, CJ.
You just hung up on the other CJ too.
No, I didn't. He hung up himself. And by the way, I always go how long they've been on hold. Really? What a methodology.
Well, then
I
why
have a complex algorithm.
Why did you ask?
Because it was rhetorical. I was making conversation.
That's a joke.
That was good.
Jesus.
It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke when he said,
He's
I go by how long they've been on hold. Great idea.
Yeah.
Talk show hosts all over
You
the
know how
world
there's
are
some
going to start
coordinators
copying
that-
your style.
You know how there's some coordinators that just should never be head coaches.
He's a very temperamental artist.
I'll make an analogy.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
We love you, Hardy.
Temperamental
Great.
artist.
We couldn't do this with Bertrand. He'd cry.
Oh. Or Big Jimmy just wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Hardy, Paul, and Deuce. Wow, what a game, says Tom in Birmingham, England. I'm starting to believe we have a seriously good team this year. Could we possibly be in a, quote, and they never lost again, quote, situation?
Let's not get
2001.
crazy.
That's you got the Bills twice coming up. I mean,
But they stink.
Let's not get crazy. No, they're a good team. I mean, I just think that's what's reassuring. All the
do they stink?
The Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you say you
No,
won't
they
get.
don't stink. I'm just kidding. Stop
Okay,
taking me
he's only
seriously.
kidding. But
I'm doing the
what
Patriots.
about?
I'm doing the Patriots fan thing.
But what about the people who said a couple weeks ago, I'm getting a 2001 vibe of this team? Are they getting a little closer to real?
Oh.
I don't know. It's just
I
every
don't know.
team's so
2001
unique.
just
Like,
conjures up
I just don't
such-
know what it means. Like if someone could explain to
Yeah.
me what they're
It
talking
was
about.
a team that had low expectations, that started getting on a roll. Bounces started going their way. And
Yeah,
before
but I don't think that's what's going. I think they're
Okay.
good. I think they're getting good.
so
Like,
they're better than 01.
But I don't. Do you think today was a lucky win?
No.
I mean, we were calling wins
No,
in
we
2001
blew
lucky
doors.
every week.
But you could say that what's going on in the AFC is kind of lucky.
And if you said how many offensive touchdowns did the 2001 Patriots score in the playoffs? Were they 2, 3? I mean, if they could somehow get through a thing where, like with the complementary football and defense and special teams making random big plays, like I guess. But
yeah, I agree with Mike.
You know what I mean?
The point that I made today, that's 2001 like, is I think there were some questions for the first time coming into this game about Mac Jones. He was kind of so-so against the Jets in the first half. He was blah against the Chargers to the point that even Josh McDaniels said that.
Right.
And then last week, I think, was probably his least productive game. So there was, for the first time, people were saying, has he leveled off?
Right.
Has
They
he
did.
plateaued?
Yep.
Right? much like when Tom Brady had those questions, is it time to go back to Drew in that New Orleans game in the rain, and he lit it up. I think Mac Jones lit it up today.
Yep.
So there's a 2001 comparison that I could say, okay, that's what you're talking about. I see it.
What were his numbers, by the way?
19 for 23 for like 180
198.
yards and 3 touchdowns.
It's unbelievable.
3 touchdowns.
Huh? Yeah.
But 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, I
so
know.
forget the like
Red
the,
zone.
The
Yep.
yards were low today, but he got the yards that he could get. He got it in the end zone.
Right.
Yeah. There's only so many yards you can get when you end up in the end zone.
Hey, did you guys in your goods mention Jakob Johnson?
No.
We did not.
Because I thought that the running game wasn't doing well. Then they brought him in. They said, we're just going to pound this thing. And I think he really helped kind of spark plug the running game.
But he was in when the running game wasn't doing well, too. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't belong in the good list. You might be right. But they started
wasn't the
off
spark.
with Harry at receiver and Jakob Johnson at fullback, and they completely shut the run down early. And then Stevenson, I think, just started making yards that weren't there.
Yeah.
I think it was on Stevenson today. I think he was
He's
outstanding.
a hard runner, huh?
Yes.
He is.
I think he was outstanding
He's like
today.
strangely slippery too. Like I mean, everybody want to put him in that LeGarrette Blount kind of box of just a big guy, but he's a lot more than that. He's got some wiggle to him and some ability to catch that just it makes him a unique kind of guy.
I have a hot take, Fred.
Coming in.
Okay.
You want to give it to us now?
I think he's better than Damian Harris now.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Wow.
Something to monitor.
I think he's better than Damian Harris.
I
right?
think
right
as
now.
an all-around back, you might be
Well,
right.
monitor the situation to see if Paul's opinion is correct.
Get back to you next week.
Yeah.
on that.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that because someone was like, "Where do you come up with these opinions about Odell Beckham?" Someone was trying. I go, "Well, you know, it's an opinion. If it was an opinion based on fact,
My God-granted
it
free
would
will.
Then, it would then be a fact. If
Yes.
it was an opinion based on fact."
Chris in Honolulu wants to know, is Matt Judon the best defensive free agent signing of the Bill Belichick era?
Wow.
defensive.
I mean, it's a
hard to
big
top.
ball. It's a
Gilmore was
high
pretty
bar.
Stephon Gilmore's. Except Gilmore wasn't great at the beginning. Judon's
Right.
been great
Yeah.
from the beginning.
And
Vrabel,
so,
Harrison,
yeah.
Gilmore. I got a lot.
Multi-year guys.
If Judon
Multi-year
is here
guys.
for 4 years
Yep.
and plays this level,
Yeah.
he will be the best.
But
Yeah.
it's got to be
And
4 years.
it could be Gilmore, could be the right answer. But Gilmore suffers from playing a position to where if he really plays it well, there are huge stretches where you don't see him.
Yeah. And you know, listen, Revis only played here a year, but I think that was a good signing. I think you emptied the wallet, you brought in a guy, and you won a Super Bowl. You know, like
even though he was only here for a year, it got you
Right.
the intended result. And
Right.
it's hard, to Paul's point of you have Mike Vrabel, who led the team in sacks, caught touchdown passes. I mean, it was multi-year, multi-Super Bowl contributor. But Judon's been outstanding. And I mean,
Welker
again,
was
today,
a restricted free agent, but that was a pretty good signing, even
Well,
though
he
they
said
never won with
defensive.
him. Oh, defense, you're right.
Defense.
You're
yeah,
right.
and I mean, what I like about Judon, too, is you have Dante Hightower coming back. I mean, last year the defense just had no real ferociousness about it. It was guys, a lot of practice squad guys, and now that you get Hightower back and Van Noy, it gives you a little bit of that swagger back. But Judon's just brought this whole new level, and there's just something that I like that he is disconnected from the Brady, all that Patriots. He's just this new, tough football guy who's funny and got good personality, and he isn't really caught up in the comparisons to the past. He's just kind of here to do something new, and I like that about him.
Eric in Missouri on the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by Cyber Reason. Hello, Eric.
Okay.
Eric in Missouri. You're
really letting Hardy down right
You
now.
were so close, Hardy. You were so close to making it through.
Mike in Puerto Rico is going to make everything okay. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, that's a high standard. Thanks, Hardy.
You're welcome.
Hey, man, I'm so excited. I hope it comes out in my voice and my energy, but this was an awesome win. It was very impressive. I don't think there was a single thing in that performance out there that doesn't lead you to the conclusion that this team is definitely going to be somebody to contend with, either getting into the playoffs or making a serious run at the playoffs. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy for Jacoby. I didn't hear the beginning of the show, so I don't know who you guys interviewed, but I hope it was him or his dad, one of the two.
It was, yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mike.
and by the way, shout out to probably Aaron Salkin, Patriots PR, for getting us Jacoby.
Yep. Excellent job. He was
Yeah,
great
okay.
to talk to today.
So, can I just ask Deuce a quick question?
Yeah.
Which year did Mr. Blount play for the Patriots?
Oh, don't do that to him. What will you say, blunt?
Blunt. Did I
You
say
said
it again
you
today?
said blunt.
Oh man, I can't kick it. You're right.
The blowering.
We all let it go.
The blowering today just will not stop.
Can I kick it? No, you
Blunt,
can't.
blunt, blunt.
Was last week he was talking about how the Patriots fans like to punish themselves, and rather than saying self-flagellation, he said self-flatulation.
Yes, he
Look
did.
it up.
Well, they had that fart
He
machine
did.
going
We
last
actually
week.
mentioned it when he said it.
That's right.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that. Okay, sorry about that. But great win, and thank you guys for making the Patriots experience that much better. Not only because of the way the team performed, but the way that you guys
Keep going.
just accentuate the experience.
Great
Keep going.
call.
Thank you, Mike.
Great call,
Thank you,
Mike. Thank you.
Yep.
Really, and a finish strong too. Yeah, I did hear that when it happened. We just kind of
Slow.
let it go.
Oh, blount.
Somebody
I
emailed
do it.
earlier too about the 10-win mark. I know we talked about it a little bit more, but it's how it seems so far out of reach. I mean, it seems like it's totally accessible now after you rattle off 4 straight wins. And then when you start, diving in a little bit deeper, well, you could lose both to Buffalo, and you could lose in Atlanta. You could lose the game against the Colts. And
That gets back to the whole no penciling in wins.
Yeah.
It's very tenuous,
Of course it is.
I just say I won't pencil in wins, but I think what this team has shown me in the last 4 games is that they're kind of a prototypical, just tough Patriots team. And I think every game is going to be a battle. I don't know if they're going to win or lose every game, but if and when they do get to the playoffs, I think they're going to be a pain in the ass to play, and I think they'll give anybody a tough time.
But if they can start doing what they did today, whereas they're not making those mistakes.
then that's we're really talking.
Right. Can I say something about the 17-game season?
Sure.
How much you hate
a
it?
bright point? No.
Yeah.
You're at the end of the season. You're either a winning team or a losing team. There's
Yes.
no more 500. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Unless you have a tie like the Lions
Oh, no.
did today, you could go 8-8-1.
8-8-1.
I guess.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Which I think the Steelers, that's very much on the table for.
Oh yeah.
It's not on the table for the Lions.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Well, mathematically, it'd be very difficult. Very difficult.
They have to win a lot of games.
Why, did they already lose 9?
No, but they're going to.
No, I know. That's why I said it'd be very difficult.
CJ, what's up, CJ? In Baltimore this time. Yes, go ahead.
Oh,
you
hi.
called back.
Sorry, my signal was bad the first time, so I
that's
guess
thoughtful.
it dropped the call. But I'm very happy to be calling into my first postgame. I called into my first Patriots Unfiltered last week. And the only bad thing about today is they actually cut the entire fourth quarter from the game today. So I missed Jakobi Meyers' first touchdown.
Yeah, a lot of people. And by the way, the blog was packed today because of that. Like the numbers shot through the roof
What's
in the
because
fourth
of that,
quarter
Freddie?
because they shut the game off
Because of
to
you.
everybody
The witticisms.
that was watching it.
Oh, wow.
Outside
Because
of
of
our
you and your
region.
constant Trent Brown updates.
I tell you what, but you weren't alone in not seeing it. There were a lot of people leaving.
That gives me a look. I'm trying to be funny with him because he gives me a look like he wants to fight me.
You failed.
There was a lot of people leaving
made
Gillette
Deuce
Stadium at the start of the fourth quarter today, trying to beat that traffic, getting out. It's like, this one's in hand. We're gonna
don't blame 'em.
skedaddle.
I
Yeah,
don't blame
so
Get back to the parking lot
But,
and recommence.
yeah.
Do you think they finally found the solutions for the offensive line?
I don't know. That's a great. I mean, we should talk about that because I did not anticipate Michael and when you would come back and come out and they just throw Trent Brown in at right tackle. And I mean, it's surprising. I think Michael Onwenu's been a real bright spot these 2 years, and nothing against Teddy the K, but I was surprised by it.
Well,
I don't know if
listen,
they're going to.
I have to be honest. Before the game, I said the one thing that can ruin this game for the Patriots is the edges of the Cleveland defense, and if the O-line doesn't play well, and it wasn't a factor. So, I don't know if they've solved anything, but they sure as hell played well today.
If they can be productive on third down, you can make everything look good because they only threw the ball 23 times. And they were able to stay on the field because they just converted every third down.
Yeah.
So all it takes is, along the lines with that first drive, an incomplete pass. And then you might be looking at things a lot differently. I think that the offensive line was really good today in protection. I thought they gave Mac, especially on those key third down plays that we're talking about, I thought they gave Mac a lot of time.
Yeah.
But they didn't throw the ball very much.
CJ, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right.
Because they didn't have to.
By the way, was that guy
backing
backing that thing up to Arkansas? How long was that beeping going on? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It was the longest backup in
I'm
history.
immune to it now.
Now he goes again.
Happens all the
Now he
time.
now he
It's
goes
like,
again.
Hardy's going to make fun of me now? I'm going to go back a little bit more.
I can't find anything. Matt in New Jersey on the Patriots postgame show. Hi, Matt.
I got that.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm down here in South Jersey and watching the game, and I'm watching that first Cleveland drive, and I'm going, uh-oh, what was his name? Johnson just cutting through the line there. And, okay, this is going to be a long game. But then the Cats came back, and I got to admit, I've been trying to stream the games as much as I can. And, boy, some of those Jones passes, it just, wow.
Yep.
He was really, really good.
He was great. That Bourne pass in the end zone between the two defenders. That's a gutsy throw.
Yeah, he was. I thought today was his best game.
I did too.
The first touch.
I think so.
Yep. I tell you,
and watching it on CBS down here in Philadelphia, once the game got out of hand and like about the beginning of the fourth quarter, Philadelphia decided to change it to the Titans game. So I had to stream the rest of the game. But I thought overall it was a darn good game, and I'm looking forward to a real good season. And if I can digress, I thought Stevenson, that was a good running game, and I thought what's his name, Bolton. I think he had a good game this game, and I think last week he had a damn good game too.
Did.
So I think he's been stepping up and having real good games.
He's been a real contributor.
And if I could just digress for a couple of minutes.
You just digress.
Actually, you can't. But thank you, man.
Can I just do a thing for all Patriots fans?
Yeah.
We have to stop freaking out after the first series, because it happens a lot, and we should know by now that oftentimes the Patriots defense looks horrid on that first series. Just relax.
Except with as many tight games as they've been in, I don't think it's unfair to say, Patriots fans, you're overreacting. How many one-score games have they played in this season?
But
if you're just going to allow a touchdown by the opponent,
that's what I'm saying. But
that's kind of what you're saying.
No, a lot of them react like this is the game. The game's over. We're terrible. We're putrid. It's the first series.
I just thought it was weird that the whole week you sit there and say, Cleveland wants to run the ball. Cleveland's going to run the ball. Cleveland runs the ball no matter what the back is. Cleveland's going to run the ball. And they come out and they run the ball, and you don't stop it. I thought that was alarming.
And
I would have been alarmed, too.
What allows that to happen?
As a guy on your blog, Freddie, I would have been alarmed by that drive, too.
Is it the spacing in between the linebackers and the line? Is it the people and the guys in the secondary not playing up enough? I mean, how did they have that much room once they would break through, your front four there, or their front three, depending on what they were playing, allowing them to get all those extra yards? I mean, it was ridiculous.
I think there were just a couple, that I remember where he was just finding little holes to squirt through, and he was getting through early on and finding a little bit of space in there, and then getting to the second level and getting through. I got to look at it more to see exactly what was going on in those situations, but they stiffened up. But I mean, I agree. It's never confidence inspiring when you go out there and it's just right down the field.
I'm not saying that you would be right if you said there's no way they're going to stop him all day today. But at the same time, that was a troubling drive. Now, they made the adjustments and completely changed it.
They never scored again.
Yeah, they completely changed it.
I think every time a team goes down easily, it's troubling.
Yeah. But
it happens a lot.
See, I don't think it happens as many times as you think it does, and it also doesn't happen that way. They did exactly what everybody has seen Cleveland do, and they did it with ease. It wasn't like they hit a pass or they got a pass interference penalty or there was like a miscommunication. Guys missed a tackle, gave him some free yards. It was just a methodical, run, little dump off, and then they end up scoring, especially if they had scored on the second down play that the guy just dropped in the end zone, Joku. They ended up having to get another touchdown on the fourth down. But that was I'm just telling you how I would honestly feel if I was separate from this show and what we do.
Right.
I would have been like, how did they let that happen? And this whole thing, we had a caller earlier about the script. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, how that somehow puts the offense at an advantage.
Yeah, if that was true, every team would score in their first drive every game.
Right.
If it's so hard to stop a scripted drive.
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but it just seemed to me like how they thought they were going to be able to defend the run, it ain't going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would have worried that their offensive line that everybody told me, even though their tackles were, everybody told me how good their offense. We're not as good as their offensive line. That's what I would have been worried about. We're getting pushed out of there, and they're getting creases on these gap runs, and then it's slowed down from there. I think the Patriots made adjustments.
And by the way, I'm glad Matt in New Jersey brought up the Hunter Henry touchdown catch, the first score of the game. To me, that is when I was asking for some better red zone play calling weeks ago. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah. Just that. Utilize the tight end in the end zone, and maybe it took a while, to develop that rhythm and that timing. But man, did they make it look easy today.
That looks just like the stupid prototypical red zone tight end, perfectly thrown, caught it, drags the feet. Perfect throw from Mac Jones where it needs. Throw with anticipation. He was cutting right out of his break when Mac let it go. There were a handful at least of examples of those kind of throws today.
Final call, Amjad in Houston. Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir, you did.
Excellent. What's going on?
That's a first. Great to have you guys. Thanks for taking my call. It's been a great season. Great team win. I think my question would be, how would you guys rate or view the offensive line performance up till this point for this season? And I think I don't know, but I think it's been a great key when the team gets a good match and wins over opponents that could be the factor in the winning. Just overall review of the.
I think it's been spotty. It's been spotty, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's getting better. It seems.
I think the last few weeks, it's been good.
Do you guys see when they do a great job protecting the quarterback and do the run game? Do you guys see that can factor in the win? The major factor, pretty much.
I thought that before the game. I said this game's going to come down to the Patriots' offensive line.
Yeah. Amjad, thank you for the call. And can I just, Fred, you asked earlier, can you say something? Can I just say something?
Yes.
I'm still amazed at Trent Brown and his size. When he is not on the field and then he comes back and you see him today, oh, my God.
Yeah,
he is a huge human being.
He's so big.
He's so big.
And no socks. Andy came up and pointed that out. He's not wearing socks. He's just nothing below the knee.
He's so big that when he goes into his
Tyson.
three-point
How
stance, he
big
can
is
barely
he?
reach the ground. So he's you ever see him? His three-point stance? It's odd because he has to reach so far down.
I'll watch for it.
And that's why he can't get to the ground.
Yeah. I think that's going to do it for us on this Patriots post-game show.
Quick turnaround.
What a game, and we're going to be right back at it on Thursday. Feels like maybe a 5:15 pregame, something like that. 5 o'clock. What time should we start?
Oh, wait, what time's the game?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, 6 to 8 it'll be. 6 to 8 Thursday.
Oh, that's right. We do 2, not 3.
It's a late night.
6 o'clock Thursday night, Patriots pregame as they visit the Falcons in Atlanta. So thanks to everybody who called in and wrote into the show and everybody involved with the show. Deuce, Fred, Paul, thank you so much. Your final score for the final time.
Do it.
Browns 7, Patriots 45. Thank you for listening and watching.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
not seeing some of the same stuff?
You are, and I would just off the top of my head, I would say that Mac Jones' numbers are probably better overall than what Brady's were his first year of start of that first.
I think they're giving him a little bit more of a leash. I think they're allowing him